Oh, that's on. Hi, I was just taking a selfie, and actually, I want to talk to you about something that is the cousin of the selfie, and it's called a helpie. Social media is everywhere these days. People use it to connect with family and friends, keep up with news and trends, and a lot more. In its simplest form, social media is just word of mouth, but amplified onto a much greater scale. Most everyone likes to share personal experiences with others. That's word of mouth, and it happens on social media too. For example, when I'm traveling somewhere, I like to post pictures online of my experience. I like to share that with friends and family and get comments and likes from them to interact with them in a different way. The same goes for volunteering. When I'm volunteering somewhere and having a good time, I want to share that experience with others and tell people about the organization that I'm volunteering with. If volunteers at your organization are already doing this, that's great. If not, or you're not really sure, you might want to do some checking on popular social media channels such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and more. If a selfie is a photo that you take of yourself while doing something, then a helpie is a selfie taken while you're helping or volunteering. So why would you take a helpie? Well, a lot of people take selfies to remember a specific moment in time. It's a way for us to look back and recall how we felt during that specific moment. For example, when I go on a hike and take a picture of myself at a beautiful waterfall, I can look back at that and remember how amazing it was, and I can see that joy reflected on my face. I don't know about you, but I like to show my good side online. For example, sharing that selfie at a waterfall is how I show others that I care about natural beauty and enjoy being outdoors. Similarly, taking a photo while volunteering is how I can show that I value volunteering and that I enjoy it, that I'm having a good experience. So, where did the Helpie come from? Well, I first heard about it at the 2015 Nonprofit Technology Conference. I was at lunch talking with other people about how we use social media in our organizations. One of the people in that group was Molly Rivera from the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. She told everybody about the Helpie, and I immediately loved the idea. After all, people already take selfies and post them to social media, so asking volunteers to do the same while volunteering is not such a difficult ask. Here's a helpie I took while volunteering at the Oregon Food Bank with my friends Sarah and Sean. We sorted perishable foods to be distributed to people who are food insecure. The three of us had such a wonderful experience. We loved how goofy we looked in our hairnets, and you can tell we're having a blast. Because of this picture, I'll never forget this moment. This was my second time volunteering at the food bank. My friends Sarah and Sean heard about my awesome experience the first time and asked if I would recommend it to them. Of course, I did, and so we volunteered together. I later asked Sarah why she chose to volunteer at the food bank, and she said, "We wanted to give back to the community, learn some new things about food, and find a positive and productive use of extra free time." Now that you know what a Helpie is, here are 3 ways that you can use it in your volunteer program. Number 1, engage your current volunteers by encouraging them to take Helpies with other volunteers. It's a way for them to experience the volunteer community at your organization. And also, when they post Helpies online and look at other Helpies that other volunteers have posted, they can also see who else is part of the community, even when they're not on their same shift. Molly, who I mentioned earlier in this video, suggests trying to get a large group together to take a helpie. She says, "I usually tell them something like, 'We had a volunteer group in here last week that was able to get 18 people in their helpie. Can you beat that?' It's really fun to watch them get everyone in the photo, and it makes for a really awesome picture." I'm more likely to trust a friend's experience somewhere than an advertisement. So when a friend says that they like a coffee shop, for example, I'll be more interested in checking it out than if I'd seen an ad for it somewhere. This is called advocate marketing, and it can be powerful. Volunteers, your natural advocates, are likely already talking about their experiences at your organization. Sharing a helpie is a way for your current volunteers to show others what that experience is like. Since social media is such a visual medium, sharing a photo is a great way to reach potential volunteers. The third purpose of a helpie is to tell the story of your organization. It's a great way to show your supporters what your organization does day to day. This could include your donors, your current, past, or future volunteers, and it shows them the experience through the eyes of volunteers. Again, they're your natural advocates, so they can reach a lot more people. So what happens now? Well, if you'd like to start using helpies at your organization, here are some step-by-step instructions for how to do so. The first thing you'll want to do is choose a hashtag. A hashtag is something that you can add to a social media post that links that post to other ones. So, for example, you could use the hashtag helpie, and that would link that post to other posts with the same tag. You can also create a branded hashtag so that other people at your organization who post and share helpies can see other helpies as well. For example, when I was posting that photo of me and my friends at the Oregon Food Bank, the Oregon Food Bank has a specific hashtag called OFB Helpie. That way, it links all of the helpies posted to one another. The next step is to choose which social media platforms you will be encouraging volunteers to use. For example, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any others that you might choose. The next step is to create a few examples so that volunteers know what you're talking about and can take helpies on their own. This is a great opportunity to involve a couple of volunteers to take a few of those example helpies. You can then take those and put them on social media and post them where other volunteers can see them. The fourth step is to write all the instructions down and post them where volunteers can see them. For example, can you post all the instructions on your website where volunteers sign up for shifts? Do you want to create a poster or a printout that volunteers see when they show up to volunteer that day? Wherever it is that volunteers can see the instructions, you'll want to post it there. The instructions will include the hashtag, where to post it, so which social media platforms are you using, and those example helpies so that they can see what they should be doing. This next step is something that's really important and something that a lot of leaders of volunteers are really good at already, and that is thanking volunteers. So when a volunteer posts a helpie online, thank them for that. They've just helped spread the word of your organization and shared their experience volunteering with you. So a great way to thank them is to do it as they're taking it. So if you know that they're taking a helpie, thank them then. And if you have access to the social media platform that they're using, then make a comment as your organization and say, hey, thanks for your volunteering today. It was so amazing to have you helping, and I think we really made a difference together. I hope you come back again. This is a great way to continue to engage people. And if you don't have access to your organization's social media accounts, talk to whoever it is that does that and see if you can get them on board. And then that way, when they see a helpie posted, then they can thank the volunteers for you. The final step is to simply keep it going. Keep taking helpies, keep talking to volunteers about the work that they're doing and sharing that work online. And that's it. Keep it going. A couple of pro tips from Molly from the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. She says that oftentimes if volunteers are working on something that's especially messy, that they will forget to take a photo using their phone because they don't want to pull it out because it's so messy. So what she does is she takes the photos for them. Also, that helps to make sure that the photos make it online. Sometimes volunteers will forget to post their helpies even though they've taken them. And so what you can do is you can use a camera or a smartphone that your organization has to take the photos of the volunteers. Another great thing about that is that you then own the photos, whereas if a volunteer takes a photo and posts it online, your organization doesn't own that photo unless the volunteer chooses to share it with you. So those are a few pro tips. I hope that this has been helpful. I look forward to seeing the helpies that your organizations post, and feel free to reach out and let me know if you have any questions.